Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. And today I am doing a collab with my PIC, Letty, over at Planner Paperie. And we are using the same ephemera pack that we got at Hobby Lobby for a killer deal. It was 40% off and it has a ton of die cuts. Okay, I'm showing you here that I have 4 different card bases. I have a 5x7. And I'm getting backgrounds. I have a slimline. This is just a traditional slimline. I have an A2. And I grabbed all of these backgrounds from a little bucket that I have. That's why none of them match up perfectly. But that's okay, because we have paper trimmers. We can make it work. So we are doing a collab that is based on one simple card hack. So we each came up with one simple card hack for others to use, and mine is off the edge. So no matter what size card you're making, you can put your die cuts off the edge to add drama. So this is an A2 card front, and I am just trimming 1 1/4 inch off. It's a vertical card base, so it's folded, it's a top folding, and I just cut 1 1/4 inch off. So now I'm going to trim this down to fit inside of that and have a little border. Now this is a mini slimline card, and this is actually from a Sheetload, which I will leave linked down below so you can get the measurements from Call Me Crafty Owl. It was an awesome Sheetload last summer, and I know it's one of my favorites. So here is a regular slimline card, and what I'm going to do with this one is kind of just measure where I want things. Then I'm going to go in with my paper trimmer and trim it up and take off the excess that I'm not planning on using. Now my paper trimmer has these marks on it for you to know how far down, exactly where the needle cuts, where the blade cuts. So that really helps me on a project like this, because I can know exactly where I'm going to be trimming my base. For the 5x7, I just did a diagonal cut. I really didn't measure anything. I just cut it at a diagonal. And then I wanted to use this vellum. It was a scrap of paper that I had in my stash that I think is lovely. It's Maggie Holmes, of course. And I just thought it would be gorgeous with this ephemera. So I'm using a tiny bit of my PVA glue just to tack it down and hold it into place. And then I decided that I would also put rivets in it. I believe that's what they're called. And so I am going to put those in all 4 corners with my We Are Memory Keepers tool. I just love that thing. And now I want to decorate the inside of the card as well. So I'm just trimming this down to 5x7. So it's going to take up that entire inside edge. And I wanted this for 2 reasons. One, I wanted the decoration to show through to the front, but also those metal pieces, if you guys haven't sent a card or received a card, they mar the inside of the card. So by adding this will protect that white card base, and it will mail better. It'll be better received on the other side of snail mail. So it's serving 2 purposes. And now it's time to bring in this incredible ephemera. I absolutely love this ephemera pack. I mean, just a killer deal. Even if you paid full price, $4.99, I think it has 100 pieces. It's amazing. So this was the first project that I used the ephemera pack for, and I have been using it ever since, and I still have a ton of it left. So here is the hack, is that once you have your card bases, which I've shown you many different ways to trim them down, once you have an edge, hang your pieces off of the edge. And it really does add drama and interest to the cards. This is not a new hack, but it is something to remember. And so I wanted to share it here with you with lots of ideas and examples of how to use it. Hold your finger if you want as a marker for how much glue to put on it, so you don't have glue on the back and you don't want to glue your card shut. It makes things a little easier sometimes. I'm going to pop this butterfly up on the inside. Oh, I just love this so much, but of course I'm not quite done with it yet. I decide that I'm going to put some sari silk. I had a scrap piece on my desk, and I decide that I'm going to put it through on this side. And at first I just wanted to let it hang there like that. And then I decided to tie it in a knot. And I did leave it, but I even thought about taking it off. But I'm just exploring and having fun and being free. So I left it on for now, and I do really like it. Now, I wanted some labels, and I went to my printable file. This is my Tsunami Rose printable file, and I have some of these just amazing labels. It's so hard to pick one sometimes. So I'm going to look through here real quick and pick a label to use as a sentiment on my card. I will leave the links to these printables down below as well. I know that sometimes you guys ask me about them. So I found one that will definitely work, and I believe this card is done. I really love it. I think it's so beautiful. So let's work on the slimline card. So what I'm using now is just a tiny bit of glue to connect my pieces together because I have them arranged exactly how I want them. So I am going to just use just a tiny bit of glue to connect these pieces and set those to the side. I had this embossed piece of paper that's from like a standard embossing folder. So it's not a slimline embossing folder. It's just a standard one. But because I'm not trying to do the whole length, it totally works. And I'm going to distress the edges of this card base, just giving it more of a vintage feel. And it went pretty well, except for here. I wasn't too crazy about this middle area, and it got a little something on it. So what do? We just stamp over it. You could bring out a sand eraser, or if it was glue, you could bring out an adhesive eraser, but I had this stamp set on standby because I felt like I was going to use it anyways. So I'm just going to stamp this all there as if it was intentional from the beginning. And then place my embossed piece down. And then my ephemera. I think my first go-to card design that I ever had as a card maker was, well, first of all, embossing is the thing that won me over to card making, dry embossing. With embossing folders. And I think just my first design was always clean and simple. It was just ephemera and embossing, just like this. But, and I don't know, it's tried and true. It's still beautiful today. So it was feeling top heavy, and I decided to bring in this beautiful ribbon from the Dollar Tree. It's still of a deal at $1.25. And I did decide to fray the edges, and then I'm going to set this aside. I have one more trick for this card, but I'm not there yet. So I'm going to just fray up the edges of this, make it look even more vintage, more worn, with my little pick tool from where? The Dollar Tree. And I'm going to put that off to the side. We're going to revisit this one. In the meantime, I'm going to tackle this mini slimline, which is so easy because the base was already cut. So I fell in love with the sketch so much that I cut a whole bunch of bases and I keep them with my card bases. So with this one, this Sheetload was already an off the edge kind of design. So it was really easy to bring this one in as an example. And again, I'm just hanging my ephemera there off the edge. And I will grab another label from my Tsunami Rose printables and pop that down there. And then I believe I will bring in some embellishments for it, but maybe I do that off camera. Okay, so this one could go vertical or horizontal, which is what I'm going to show you now. So when you cut your base like this, which was the first one I cut when I cut 1¼ inches off of it, then you can do it horizontally or vertically. I do believe that I decided to do a vertical design for this card. Yes. So I'm going to glue down this sheet of patterned paper, glue my one piece of ephemera off the edge. Here I'm using my hand as a guide, like don't glue past my thumb. And that way I knew that I wasn't getting any glue on the back. I'm just cleaning off that top edge. And then I decide, I had this piece of watercolor paper. I watercolored this paper. It's not patterned paper. I just took, black watercolor and colored some stripes and made myself some black and white striped paper. And I added that there, and I really love how that enhances this design. I really felt like it made everything pop and come together. I'm popping up another butterfly. Again, all this ephemera is in this pack. This is the same ephemera pack that Letty is going to use. And you guys, she has a completely different hack for you. And I know it's amazing because she's already told me what it was. And I can't wait to see. So I really want you to go over and watch her video to see what she made. I'll be there too. I'll be watching. So here I'm adding some little droplet clear stones and some gems because this ephemera looked like it had dew on it. And so I just put a few there. All right, I'm doing a hot wax seal on this ribbon. And so I use that other wax seal that you saw me placing. I use that just to decide where I'm going to place my wax seal. So I keep it with my wax seal box, and yeah, it's just handy. Okay, so yeah, I put my gems on off camera for this one, but I just love this. These would be so quick to mass produce, you guys. You just do all of your embossing at once, trim off your card bases. The ephemera makes it so easy. I just love this. I did a bee seal. And I'm going to show you here that you can use, now I'm using lunar paste in this video, but you could also use acrylic paint or a paint pen. And what you do is just lightly touch the top of the surface. You only want to add color to the debossed part. I think that's what it is, the raised part of the design. And it just really, I think, finishes off the wax seal. So I'll bring that back up so you can see it. Now we can really see that bee, and it's super sweet. I love this card. I love all of these cards. I hope you do too. I hope this video gives you inspiration, just starting with one idea, and then you can run with it. You could do anything. If you're not a freak for florals like me, that's okay. This could be anything. Just go off the edge, and maybe you have a card base that you got something on it and you don't know what to do with it, but you don't want to throw it away. Cut off the bad part and put your ephemera off the edge. So I really had fun making these for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see more simple card hacks like this from me and Letty, let us know in the comments. I'm sure we'll get together again, and have a beautiful day. Bye.